Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And for all my continued followers, I want to say thank you. And this is an opinion-based video channel where I try to open your eyes and ears up to some of the travails and tribulations that take place throughout our cities, our states, our country, and sometimes around the world. And boy, I got another one for you coming straight out of New York City. There is a lot going on in New York. I don't know which city is leading in chaos and disruption. Is it Chicago, New York, Atlanta proper, Georgia, or what? But New York, you got Eric Adams, the mayor, that's been indicted. You have this Puffy saga with entertainers, politicians that have been indicted and have gotten in trouble. And this story has a Puffy-esque atmosphere around it. And what do I mean by that? Well, this gentleman was drugging females and then R-ing them, assaulting them, videotaping them, and it has this certain chasm of these similar Puffy allegations. But the caveat to this one is this was the alleged perpetrator is a male doctor, a gastroenterologist, where he has been alleged to have assaulted not only some of his patients while they've been sedated at the hospital, but he was also doing this in his home and videotaping it. What is going on with these gentlemen assaulting people and videotaping it and keeping it as evidence? And he has gotten caught. And then also New York Presbyterian Hospital is in a lot of trouble because he was an employee there and allegedly assaulted people at the hospital. This is a crazy case. So let's go. New York doctor is charged with drugging and assaulting patients. A Queens doctor has been charged with drugging, R-ing, and filming the essay accounts of a string of women, including patients at the prominent New York hospital where he practiced, according to prosecutors. Dr. Gging Alan Cheng, who was first arrested and charged with R in December, had 50 new counts brought against him on Monday for essay abuse of 3 patients at New York Presbyterian Queens Hospital and R-ing 3 other women in his home, according to the Queens District Attorney's Office. In addition to 7 identified victims, prosecutors say they have video evidence showing there are at least 6 other victims assaulted across multiple cities and countries. Dr. Cheng was initially arrested on December 27th of last year and charged with drugging and R-ing a female acquaintance in his home in Queens. Now prosecutors say that the assaults weren't limited to his home. Dr. Cheng has pleaded not guilty to the new charges as well as the counts from the December arrest. The new charges are a result of an investigation that began when the female acquaintance tipped off authorities as she found videos in Dr. Cheng's home of him assaulting her and other women in December of last year, according to the statement from the DA's office. Evidence showed the young gastroenterologist was a sexual predator in the absolute worst kind, says Queen District Attorney Melinda Katz, who called Dr. Cheng a serial artist, someone willing not only to violate his sacred professional oath and patients' trust, but every standard of human dignity. A search of Dr. Cheng's home uncovered multiple videos of unconscious female hospital patients and female acquaintances, as well as drugs like propofol, sevoflurane, used in healthcare settings to sedate people, according to prosecutors. Investigators also found narcotics, including phenny, ketamine, and LSD. The new charges include R, unlawful surveillance, and criminal possession of a controlled substance, according to the Queens District Attorney. Dr. Cheng has pleaded not guilty to the charges and will intend to fight them, Dr. Cheng's attorney, Jeffrey Lichtman, told CNN in a written statement. Since his arrest in December, Dr. Cheng has been held without bail and placed on suicide watch. It sounds very similar to Puffy's situation. At the request of the district attorney's office, Chief Public Information Officer Frank Sobrino told CNN. His next court date is set for September 19th. The crimes committed by this individual are heinous, despicable, and a fundamental betrayal of our mission and our patients' trust, New York Presbyterian said in a statement. In December 2022, as soon as the district attorney made us aware of the allegations of SA abuse against this individual, he was immediately placed off duty, banned from the hospital property, and terminated. So they also talk about there was a string of heinous assaults. So let's get into who Cheng is. Cheng received his medical license in May 2020, so he's a brand new doctor, according to records maintained by the U.S. Health and Human Services. The assaults started sometime that same year. Videos show Dr. Cheng assaulting 3 separate hospital patients between March 2021 and May 2022, all of whom appeared unconscious, prosecutors said. All 3 victims had one of their closed eyelids pulled open during the assault, according to the district attorney's office. Prosecutors described 3 separate victims who were assaulted or AR'd in Cheng's apartment, all of whom have no memory of the events. In videos of 2 assaults, Dr. Cheng is seen handling a brown bottle resembling one seized from his apartment containing sevoflurane, if I'm pronouncing that right. Sevoflurane, an anesthetic sometimes used to put patients to sleep before surgery. Those were the victims prosecutors have been able to identify. Additional videos show victims being assaulted at New York Presbyterian Queens Hospital, at Cheng's Queens apartment, and also at other locations in Westchester County, Manhattan, Las Vegas, San Francisco, and Thailand, according to the DA's office. Katz is urging women who think they may have been victimized to contact her office Special Victims Bureau at 718-286-6505 for any of the viewers that are listening to this video. And here we go with an alleged pattern of ignoring abusive complaints by the hospital. One of the victims who Cheng allegedly assaulted at New York Presbyterian Queens is suing the hospital system, saying that the hospital was aware that Cheng had essayed her and they conspired to cover it up. In June 2021, the 19-year-old Queens resident was admitted to the emergency room for severe pain caused by gallstones, where Cheng performed an unnecessary rectal exam, injected her with an unknown substance, and assaulted her while she was unconscious, according to the complaint. When she informed hospital staff about the injection that caused her to lose consciousness, the hospital conducted a lineup of male employees, and the victim identified Dr. Cheng as the man who injected her. The hospital did not inform police about the incident or make any notes about the lineup, according to the complaint. The suit also says that the hospital did not collect any forensic evidence, including robe or bed sheets, did not test the plaintiff's blood to determine what she was injected with, or offer her sufficient and timely support services. Dr. Cheng was not fired or suspended after the incident or being picked out of the lineup. Unbelievably, on June 22, 2021, after the hospital conducted the lineup and knew that Dr. Cheng had essayed the plaintiff, records indicate that he provided medical treatment and care to her while she was under sedation doing surgery, according to the statement by Liacus Law and Slater Shulman, the firms that are representing the victim. When asked whether New York Presbyterian had received any complaints about Dr. Cheng prior to prosecutors making the allegations known in December 2022, Angela Smith Cara-Fazeli, a senior media director for the hospital, told CNN they had nothing additional to share. The hospital system has a years-long pattern of ignoring specific activities by doctors, and in some cases, actual complaints from patients. Adam Slater, founding and managing partner of Slater Shulman, told CNN. Slater said his firm has brought several previous suits against New York Presbyterian for ignoring complaints about its doctors assaulting patients. One of those doctors was Dr. Robert Haddon, a former Columbia University gynecologist who was sentenced in July to 20 years in prison for essaying his patients. Slater said he hopes to see the hospital system implement mandatory law enforcement reporting for patients complaining about any type of abuse. What in the world is going on in New York Presbyterian, and what is going on in New York City? The Eastern District and the Southern District of New York City is going to be extremely busy with all kinds of indictments, allegations, finding complaints. There is all kinds of heinous things that are taking place in New York City. And not saying that this is something new, but now that we have social media outlets and people can do their own videos like I'm doing, we can raise the awareness of what's going on in many of our cities and our states in America. And there is all kinds of hubris and craziness that's taking place in New York City with the sanctuary migrant situation, Eric Adams, the mayor, being indicted, his whole department and office is falling apart, the Puffy saga, and now you have this young gastroenterologist who is alleged to have done some of the same similar things to patients and ex-girlfriends or friends of his, similar to the Puffy allegations of drugging individuals until they're unconscious and then assaulting them. Mental illness is a real thing, and you cannot tell me that this doctor is not mentally ill and needs to be off the streets. He took an oath to be a helper and a healer, and he went out of his way to intentionally harm individuals. And there is some accountability with the Hospital of New York Presbyterian. As I said to you in this article, that's not the first doctor who has had alleged allegations of abuse. The gynecologist even got convicted, and now you have this young doctor, Dr. Cheng, who has been alleged to have assaulted multiple people at the hospital and in various places throughout this country and in Thailand. This is a very sad scenario, and the district attorney's office is going to be extremely busy indicting and convicting many of these heinous crimes that are taking place. Tell me in New York City, tell me what you think. This has been a Trevor Donald Experience.